Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. Today we are going to do a pick a card reading to celebrate Valentine's Day, and this video is going to be just to get some information about where you are at in your love journey. And I don't really know what's gonna happen in this reading. I just took a bunch of cards out, so let's see what happens. Hopefully we get good stuff, but if not, well, let's learn from those experiences. And in front of me we have 3 piles, and I'll introduce the piles in a little bit, but in the description below I will have the timestamp so you can jump to your pile. But let me introduce them. For pile number 1 we have an Angelite. For pile number 2 we have rose quartz. And for pile number 3 we have an obsidian stone. So feel free to pause the video if you need more time to pick your pile. And we do have a lot of cards in each one, so try to stick to one pile, but if not, do whatever you want to do. And with all of that said, I will start with pile number 1, and if not, I'll see you in your pile. Hello pile 1, or for those of you that picked the Angelite, this is your reading to figure out where are you at in your journey, your love journey. So let's start with the wisdom of the oracle. We have time for a nap reverse, we have regeneration, and go the distance reverse. So with the first oracle cards that we have here, I'm getting a bit of like conflicting energies, because on one side, when you see time for a nap reverse, you will think, okay, they're telling you to like wake up, take action, do something. But then when I see the card of regeneration, I actually think of like, oh, maybe it's a good time to rest and bring yourself back into balance, bring like yourself into like center yourself, something along those lines, right? But with those conflicting energies, it all kind of like boil down to one clear idea, and it feels like they're telling you to rest so like that you can heal and bring yourself into balance, but they also seem like they're telling you to take action towards finding that balance. So being a little bit less passive and being a bit more proactive towards creating the life that you desire, creating the environment that makes you happy, that makes you comfortable, that makes you feel stable. There is this sense of, with the regeneration, that like a death and rebirth, so it makes me think of the death card, but it also makes me think of a phoenix. There's this sense of like, I'm also getting like a feeling of like the tower, so this whole idea of like getting rid of everything that doesn't work in your life in order to make room for things that do. Maybe getting rid of a mentality that is too old and it doesn't fit with the type of lifestyle that you want, or maybe even letting go of relationships, may it be with people or may it be with your environment, that don't match or are not in the same vibration as you or as you desire to be in. So the regeneration card just makes me think of like cleaning house, making room, and opening yourself up for whatever future you envision or you want and desire in life. So right now in your love journey, it feels like you're trying to, like, I'm getting this sense of like creating a nest, or a sense of like finding a place that you feel comfortable in. And this could be metaphorical, but or it could be like physically you start making a place your own, or cleaning the air and the space for it to fit what you vision as something comfortable, happy, and stable. Now, with a go the distance reverse, it definitely feels like life is telling you that instead of just moving forward and following your impulses, or being a bit reckless when the action that you're taking, it feels like they're telling you to slow down a little bit, but to a sense of like walking with purpose, or taking action with intention, or doing things with intentions. The whole idea of like, don't just do stuff to get things done, or don't do stuff just to maintain yourself busy, but take action in a way that it's leading you closer to what makes you happy, or leading you closer to a goal of yours. Now, if you feel a bit overwhelmed, thinking, yes, there are goals that I want to do, but I don't know how to get there, I don't know how to make them happen, that is when they're telling you, take a step back and take baby steps, do little things. Look at what it is within your power to create change and take care of those things. And slowly you're going to start seeing how everything else just falls into place. And I think this is a mentality that is kind of hard to get to. I mean, that is something that I myself am working working on as well. So the best advice I can give you to that is to be very patient with yourself, because there will be times that you want to create change, you want to do things differently, and it's very hard, it's very challenging, and you always feel like you're like going back, like you're taking one step forward and taking two back. Like sometimes it feels that way, and the best advice I can give you to that is to be patient and understand that that is very normal, and then just continue pushing forward. If you need time to rest, definitely take it, and then try to do little things to try to bring yourself back up and bring yourself back into that energy that moves you forward. But now let's look at some more of your oracle cards. We have Full Moon in Libra with Find Your Balance, which is very fitting to what we talked about earlier. Let's take out your space cards. Your space. Place. What is this called? Give me a second. This is called a place oracle. So we have train with subway and railway. We have post office with mail delivery, written correspondence, and package tracking. Okay, we have beach with sun and sand and relaxation and leisure. And then we have a luxurious boutique with Vaseline gems, precious metals, handcrafted masterpieces, and bespoke luxury. So far, with a full moon in Libra, find a balance. It feels like meditation could be very beneficial for you, because this is one of the cards that I have meditated with, and I don't do that often, so I do feel that's kind of like a highlighted message for you. Now, if we're talking about Libra energy, it just goes back to what we talked earlier about finding balance, being in harmony. Another thing that Libra has, because I'm thinking of its connection to the King of Swords, is having a clear mind, having good judgment. And in this case, how that applies to where you are at in your journey is being able to figure out when to move forward and when it's a good time to rest. I think that's like the main thing that you're focusing on right now. And why is that important? The reason why that's important is like that you know when to push forward and get things done, but not push yourself to the point of burnout or pushing yourself to get things done without purpose. Because there will be times that you may want to take action and you are doing it, but it's kind of like doing something, but it's not effective because it's just busy work. So it's not really getting you anywhere. And I think if you have a clear mind, it will be easier for you to decipher or to figure out, discern, that's the word I was looking for, what it is that you should do and when it is a good time to rest. So I think that's where the conflicting energy we got earlier of like rest, but don't be complacent, and take action, but don't do busy work. So there's something about intent and purpose. Now with the full moon in Libra, full moons talk about peak energy, is like energy that has accumulated into something, and that's already like leading me into the place oracle cards, which is this whole idea of like with the post office. I'm getting this feeling that you have already told your spiritual team, the universe, or to yourself as well, what it is that you want in life and what it is that you desire. So it almost feels like you have already, in a way, visualized the type of future that you want, and that message has already been delivered. Like your spiritual team knows, the universe knows, your manifestation knows, and they're already working on it. It feels like they already got the message, and it's going to be like a matter of time for things to get working. Now with the train card, it feels like you're still moving, you're still like in a transition phase where you're going from point A to point B, and this transition is what you feel right now, where you don't know when to take action, when to rest, you don't know when you're pushing yourself too much or when you're doing nothing, just letting things happen. So I do feel that energy where you don't really know where you're at and you don't feel like things are quite solid, like things don't really make sense, is because you're in that transition phase. You are moving from one mental state to the next, which is preparing you for a better love life, I guess you could put it that way. Now, when I was thinking of this reading, I wasn't really thinking about like if someone's single and they're looking for love, or if someone is in a partnership and they're looking for love. I think this was going to be general enough that it will be very personal to you, and it should technically fit regardless of your situation, because you picked this pile, right? So In this case, we are getting more about like finding a place where you feel safe, secure, and balanced. And it feels like right now we're getting a lot of like internal love and self-care, and that will definitely boost or make your love life a lot, I was gonna say friendlier, better, happier, brighter. Those words is what's coming up. Also, when I saw the train card, I thought of Honkai Star Rail, so that could be significant. Something about traveling through time and space could be significant, or like the imagery of space and planets and stars. Those could be signs that come to you in maybe a way that messages are delivered to you. Maybe when I think of the train, I also think of a very peaceful time. When I would commute to school, being on the train was very nice if no one bothered you. And if like it was kind of empty, it was quite soothing because you could kind of like just be on your head or just distract yourself a little bit. So I did feel that with you, similar messages coming up is like right now, when the energy or like external energies are not bothering you, you are okay with being in this, I guess, malleable energy. But when there's a lot of external energy that is bothering you, maybe people that are constantly having problems and you're getting involved with it, or maybe just situations are not really working out how you planned, and those things start bothering you and getting in your head, and then that makes the journey feel like an eternity. It makes the journey like heavier, unbearable, and exhausting. And those are the times that the universe kind of does want you to take a step back, so like that you can see, how can I get rid of this unnecessary energy? So taking that step back is not necessarily like running away from the problem, but more like, let me analyze the situation to figure out what's within my power to get rid of this energy that I don't like. So this train just feels like that's one of the ways you can find balance and be in a bit more of harmony. Again, the post office card is just saying that your spiritual team has received the message, and maybe you're already kind of like exchanging letters, or you have become like pen pals with your spiritual team. So that makes me think that journaling could be important, so writing things down so you are aware of what your goals are, or if not, writing things down could be a way that you can like receive messages from spirit. You will know that better than me. Now with the beach card, sun and sand, it makes me think of a desert in a way. And the reason why that is coming up is because to me, a desert symbolizes someone is going in self-isolation in order to get to know themselves better. So basically the hermit card. So right now it feels like being on your own, not necessarily being on your own of like, forget relationships, I need to work on myself. Not necessarily, you don't have to reach that point, but more along those lines of like, when you are on your own, go through this introspective self-reflection type of energy, thinking about things and figuring out what works for you, what doesn't work for you, what do you want, what do you not want, and so on and so on. The other thing that I'm getting with the beach card is this whole idea of when you are in your own energy, in your own solitude, when you find that balance and that harmony that brings you the stability you so desire, you're going to notice that this transition phase where things are not fully concrete and maybe you don't know the whole truth, or you don't see the whole vision of how your manifestations are going to come through. When that happens, you're going to realize how you can actually relax. Now, this relaxation doesn't mean that you're not doing anything. It just means like when you have to take care of something, it doesn't feel like a drag. It doesn't feel exhausting. It doesn't feel overwhelming. And when you see like things have slowed down and there's not much that you have to do, like there's no like, oh, if you do this, then you can improve on that, and all of those things, like maybe even taking care of responsibilities, it won't feel as heavy either. So the beach card just makes me think that it's going to feel a lot more relaxing when you have to wait for an opportunity to come through, and also when you have to take care of something, you also won't feel too stressed about it. So the beach card also makes me think of like taking things slow and no stress, no pressure. Lastly, with a luxury boutique, I was getting this energy of like everything that you want will come through. But I got like kind of like an extra message of like within reason. Now the reason why that is coming up is like you're going to notice as you're going through this journey of self-reflection and introspection and just getting to know yourself better, you're going to start noticing that you have an idea of what you want. And as you're going through your journey, you're going to start shifting that energy constantly. And that's pretty normal. The reason why you're shifting it constantly is that as you're going through your journey, you're learning things. And as you're learning, you're figuring out like the right words or the right expression or like the fine details of what your manifestations will look like in that match with what you want. So let's say as you're learning and growing, you're going to notice, I can't tolerate this type of energy anymore. Now I am aware, so I'm going to put it in my manifestations that I don't desire that. And as you're going forward, you will also realize, like, I'm this type of person, so I'm looking for something like this in the future. And I think the luxury boutique is telling you, you will definitely get everything that you want, everything that you desire. It's just going to take a while for you to, I guess, put into words and to recognize what it is that you want, as well as recognize what it is that you need. There are times that the universe gives us opportunities or makes us meet people or situations that will help us grow as individuals. But if we're not there yet, we just think we're being punished, or we think that this is too good to be true, and all of those things are just there to help us with our journey, even if we don't see it at the time. So I do feel that that is the reason why we got the whole within reason. Is like, it doesn't mean like it's a conditional, like you're gonna get what we think you need. You will get what you want as well. It's just about perspective, I guess is the best way I can describe that. But let's take out let's take out the tarot cards first. So we have the High Priestess with intuition and sacred knowledge. We have the Nine of Acorns, which is the equivalent to the Nine of Wands, with power and perseverance. And we have number 12 with a Hangman, with patience and perspective. So you have 2 cats, so maybe cats could be significant, or maybe, well, we have 3 with a cheetah here in the golden distance, but what I'm getting is like this feminine energy could be significant to you. So maybe learning how to be very receptive to opportunities that come your way, and then analyzing which one is the best fitting to what you want to do or what you need, and then that's when you make a decision and take action towards that. That's a very feminine way of manifesting in life. Is like observing, attracting, analyzing, and then just taking whichever opportunity fits. But with the High Priestess, it feels like intuition is going to be very significant. So right now, one of the things that you're working on in your love life is connecting to your intuition, knowing how to connect to it in a very conscious way. So you go like, oh, this is what I can physically do to connect to that energy, to that vibe, to that mentality. And you're kind of like harnessing that skill in a way that works for you, on command, if you want to put it that way. The Nine of Wands, or the Nine of Acorns, talks about someone that is cautious, someone that could have been hurt in the past, and that's why right now they're not giving up, so they're moving forward, taking action, getting things done, but they're kind of cautious. There's still some healing that has to do, but at least they're towards the end of their healing. So it feels like in your transition here, where you are at in your love life, is that you are very close to creating this harmony and balance. But when I mean close, it could be a bit different for you guys. Some of you are close in finding like a tangible mindset that brings you stability and harmony. Some of you are in like physically, you are very close to, I guess, wrapping up a situation or a place that symbolizes that harmony and balance. And others of you have already reached the point where you're very close at figuring out what it is that you don't want in your life, and that is already a stepping stone or a step closer towards figuring out the restoration of like, okay, so what can I do to get rid of that and shift into this positive mindset. So all of those 3 things are kind of like different ways of like you're close to finding this new energy in your life. And it's going to look different for all of you guys, because harmony and balance for all of you will look different because you have different meanings to it. And also, many of you will have a different issue to work on. So, some of you are working on limiting beliefs, others of you are working on making your manifestations into a 3D reality, and others of you are just barely recognizing the patterns and the issues that you encounter and barely figuring out how to connect to your intuition. So the Nine of Acorns tells me that you may be a bit guarded, but at least you're already close to the end of a cycle, regardless of where you are at in life. And that shows that you will soon enough just have to, like, you will soon get like that green light or like that epiphany that tells you, okay, this is all you have to do to finally close this chapter in your life. So you're getting there. I think, if anything, connecting to your intuition will help you figure out or decipher that message that is telling you this is what you have to do, or this is what you could do, or this is the opportunity that's coming through to get you to that point in your life that you're waiting for. The Hangman. So the Hangman is Neptune energy. The High Priestess is Moon energy. So both of them feel very watery. With the Hangman, there's this energy of changing your point of view, seeing things differently, and by doing so, you are opening up your mind, your point of view, your perspective. So thinking outside the box could be one of those things, or understanding your situation better. It's kind of like seeing the bigger picture. That phrase is coming up. And if this is a praying mantis, that makes me think of like you are still learning. You're like a student. You're still figuring things out. Maybe learning terminology, learning how you work, how you think, the process that is the most effective for you when you're healing, and maybe even figuring out what your manifestations are, or figuring out where you are at in your situation. And identifying all of that and understanding all of that is just a learning progress. And this praying mantis that we see in the Hangman kind of makes me think that that's what's going on here. Like, putting yourself in a situation where you're like, okay, I've never seen it this way, I've never thought about it this way, you know, kind of opening up yourself to different points of view or different ways of seeing things will definitely give you the perspective that you need. And maybe connecting to your intuition could be one of the ways that can guide you to seeing things differently, or seeing things from a different point of view that will give you the understanding or the knowledge necessary to kind of take that next step, especially for those of you that feel very stagnant or stuck with this mentality of like, what should I do next? What's going on? Which, I mean, very fitting since this is what this reading is about, right? So the Hangman, by seeing things differently, you'll kind of get like a little bit of a hint or an idea of what to do next. Now we have Bow, Eternal Love, and Stubbornness. So yes, if you feel like there's a soulmate that you want to harness a relationship with, or level up with that person or with that situation, so improve relationships, establish relationships, or just anything to do with relationships, you know, making a promise of being together forever, so maybe marriage, dating, or just a soulmate type of thing. It feels like one of the things that you should be mindful of is being persistent is different from stubbornness. Being persistent means that you don't give up and you push forward regardless of obstacles. Being stubborn means that you're not listening to solutions and you're just pushing through, bulldozing through. Now, stubbornness can get you so far. Now, I'm saying it this way because it feels like the Hangman energy is telling you this is a solution, and the stubbornness card is telling you this is a resistant. Like, I'm thinking of like friction, like you're moving forward, and stubbornness will be like the thing that's kind of holding you back or slowing you down. Now, I'm not telling you that being stubborn is bad, but I'm telling you that not listening can definitely be one of the reasons why you feel stagnant. So look into that and figure out where are times where you are not listening to other people's advice, or not listening to maybe even your own advice. Because let's say that sometimes you're like, maybe I should rest. And then you go like, no, I need to do all these things, so forget it. that is you ignoring your advice. So keep that in mind. I guess the best trick I can tell you is if you're giving advice to somebody else, like let's say someone's telling you about their problems and you're like, oh, you should just do this. Listen to what you're saying, because that could also be advice you can take for yourself and you just don't realize that you need to hear it. So yeah, promise. It feels like your spiritual team is telling you that whatever it is that you want in life, they are listening and they promise that you'll get there. If you made a promise with someone, your spiritual team is looking out for that relationship or looking into that situation and making sure that you're protected, taken care of, and that everything will work out as it should or as it will be. And the eternal love made me think of a long-lasting promise of love and care, which is very fitting since we're talking about romance. Now, the last card that we have here is the fair man with dealings or relationships with a man with blonde, gray, or white hair. And then we have throne with position of authority. So these two cards just tell me that in your love life, maybe the fair man just makes me think of an old person. So someone wise and with authority. Putting these two cards together makes me think of the Emperor. So maybe there's this energy here of like someone with Aries energy, someone that is impulsive, someone that is, I was gonna say self-centered, which is usually connected to Leo, but Aries energy has the keyword of I am. Someone that is focusing on themselves, doing their own thing, following their own passions, their own desires. And that doesn't mean that Aries energy is not generous or that they're quite reckless, because that's just fire energy. But Aries energy can be very kind and friendly and social and generous towards other people. It's just that they prioritize themselves first and then they just give to others when they're in a good place. So with a fair man in the throne, combining those cards just makes me think of this Emperor energy. So someone that is someone that's stable, because it's number 4 in tarot. So someone that's stable, grounded, but also someone that is able to know when to take action. Usually the Emperor is like strategizing or thinking. It's supposed to be a very mature energy, someone that knows what the established rules are and they are kind of like the authority figure. In this case, it will be of like, if you were to be considered the Emperor, then you will be able to embody what this whole reading has been about. Knowing when to take action, knowing when to rest, knowing when to look at the bigger picture, when to strategize, when to do something, when to ask for help, when to do things on your own. Like, all of that is just about balance, and this whole reading is just telling you to find that balance that fits you. And my only advice here is to not push yourself to the point where you are putting too much work on yourself to heal, or resisting all of this change. Again, just be understanding and patient with your situation and with yourself. A lot of introspection, a lot of reflection, and connecting to your higher self in order to connect to those messages that could give you a point of view that you've never thought of before. So pile number 1. I know that we didn't really get a lot of romance because this feels a lot about focus on yourself and your situation. Regardless if you have a partner, if you have someone in mind, or if you don't, or so on and so on. That one doesn't seem to really matter. We do have a lot of signs of partnership though. We have external love, we have vow, we have Libra energy. All of those cards talk about partnership. It talks about romance. So that is there. And of course you want it if you are in this reading. Unless you're just hanging out. Hello. But yeah, this reading is just kind of emphasizing that you are still in that transition phase of finding balance and harmony, however that looks to you and however that fits whatever vision or whatever idea you have of balance. Now, do know that this is something that we as people constantly do. Like, think about your body. When you are moving and exercising, it sweats to neutralize that heat that you're producing and finding that balance again. There is a word for this. Homeostasis, is that the word? The whole idea of like, it's nature or it's normal to always do what is necessary to find balance. So all I'm saying is, do know that this is like a never ending story. Like, this is something that people are always doing and it's always happening. So don't see that as, oh, this is, I will never heal. just see this as this is normal. All I'm saying, like, don't feel like there's something wrong with you. If you are in this energy where you don't know what's going on, you don't know where you're at and like what's happening, don't feel bad. That's all I'm saying. Be patient, be understanding, and then just push forward. Anyway, pile 1. Thank you so much for all the love and support you have shown me in the channel. I will see you guys in the next one, whenever that is, however that is. And if you're leaving me here, well, thank you for everything. And if not, well, see you wherever. Love and healing from my part to you, and bye. Hello, pile 2, or those of you that picked the rose quartz. This is your reading. So let's take out the oracle to figure out where are you at in your love journey. So we have Jan reverse. We have first quarter moon in Cancer with push through any insecurity. So we have a lot of blue. Maybe your throat chakra is blocked. Let's take out your place cards as well. We have Frigid Realm with Icy Wilderness, Arctic Wonders, Polar Extremes, and then we have Workspace with Productive Environment, Creative Zone, Technology Hub. Now, I think we have a lot of tea leaf for you, so those are going to stay on the bottom. This one, we'll get there when we get there, and let's look at this one. We have Commitment and the Marriage. Well, I would love to see that. So with that Yang energy reverse, it feels like your masculine energy is out of balance. When we're talking about that, it feels like you're not taking action in a way that can get you closer to whatever it is that you want in your life, or whatever it is you want to manifest. You may feel like opportunities are just slipping through your fingers, or you may feel like opportunities are not coming through, but I do feel that that feeling is because you're not taking action towards those opportunities. Or when you do, you start hesitating and doubting, and those insecurities put a lot of resistance. And that could be one of the reasons why you feel like things are not happening, or when you feel like things are stagnant. The fire that we see in this Yang card is one that makes me think of a new beginning. It makes me think of the Ace of Wands. It makes me think of getting that green light from Spirit that's telling you, go get it, go do this, go do that. Like, whatever it is that you want to do, go for it. So I do feel that that's a message that is coming through right now as well. Also, that fire just makes me think of the sacral chakra, which talks about following your passions, your desires, your motivations. It could also be talking about sensual and sexual energy as well. But I do feel that with you is this whole idea of like, whatever it is that you want, go for it. Don't hesitate, move forward, and see where life takes you. Now, the Cancer energy that we have here with the first quarter moon in Cancer. Cancer is a cardinal sign. So that means that cardinal signs are known to be the initiators. I was going to say entrepreneurs, so maybe business, and maybe you want to open your own business, and if that's the case, I highly encourage you to do that if that is what you desire. Of course, be cautious, be careful, and take things one step at a time. But anyway, with the Cancer energy, you have a cardinal sign. A lot of this energy of pushing forward, getting things done, trying new things. Cancer is a type of sign that usually when we think of Cancer, we think of someone that's very nurturing, motherly, caring, someone that is compassionate, maybe someone that has a lot of mood swings, someone that's very private in the sense of like when it comes to relationships, Cancers have a very clear idea of like who is within their inner circle, who's in their outer circle. They have a very good idea of, like, this is the people I care about, and I will take care of them deeply, and very loyal, very loyal. Now with the Cancer energy here, I'm getting the imagery of the Chariot, since the Chariot represents Cancer in tarot, and the Chariot is also talking about taking action, is being assertive, is like, this is my decision, I'm moving forward, we're doing this, we're taking action. So I do feel that that's another message that it keeps kind of coming through of like, do something. Now with a push through any insecurity, it definitely feels like you may feel like your idea, especially if you, let's say you want to start a business or something. So I'm talking about a business because a workplace one is in the center of your reading, but when we're talking about like where you are at in your love life and romance, it definitely feels like the message here is the whole idea of just a new beginning. So there might be this, if you want to, let's say, start a relationship or start a new stage of your relationship, your work could be holding you back, and because of that you may feel like you don't have the energy to commit towards a romantic relationship or just any relationship in general. You know, a relationship takes time, it takes care, attention, and energy, and that's something that you're already putting in your career, and maybe that's why you're hesitating when it comes to love. So push through any insecurity. Feels like the universe is telling you that if you want to start romance, or if you want to start paying more attention to your love life, the universe is telling you, go for it. Do it. The insecurity that I'm feeling here is that you don't want to like hurt the person that you want to be with, or you don't want to neglect them or leave them out in the cold or ignore them or something because of how focused you are with your career. The other thing that I'm getting is that's one of your fears is that since you're so busy with your career, with your work, you don't see the point of focusing on your love life because you don't have time for it, or you feel that you wouldn't have time for it. And again, you don't want to disappoint the people involved in your love life. I don't know why I said people, but I guess it will be people if you're also thinking of like your family or something. But with push through any insecurity, it makes me think that the universe is telling you, you will manage, you will do well, you will do okay. It feels like the people that really matter will understand the situation that you're in. So even if you're very busy, they will understand that. They will be very forgiving, and they will give you the time that you need for that and for you to focus on that. If anything, my best advice on this is like when you are spending time with your family, especially if you were like, I promise that this time has been scheduled for you guys, then make sure that you're not thinking of work during that time, that you actually spend that time with your family. Because there are times that even if you're physically there hanging out with the people that you care about, if you're thinking about other stuff, then you're actually not really spending that time with them, and those people will be aware of it if they're actually understanding of your situation. Well, I'm saying don't push it. So if you have these people who are very understanding of your situation, there might be times that they'll be forgiving and understanding if you're not like 100% there with them. But like with everything, people lose their patience. There's a limit to stuff, so be understanding of that as well. And maybe because of something like that, that could be one of the reasons why you may have some commitment issues. But anyway, so frigid round with, so this card right here. I have a feeling that you are in a place in your life where you have a lot of work. Either you have a lot of time on your own, so because of that you can't really visualize yourself spending your time with anyone, because in a romantic way, because you spent a lot of time on your own. You may have focused a lot of your career with the workspace in the frigid realm. It feels like you had like a very strict schedule of like, this is the responsibilities I have to take care of, so I don't have room to think about anything or to focus on anything else. And because of that, now it's kind of hard for you to transition into a mentality where you can bring another energy, in this case a romantic one, into your life. Now the other thing that I'm getting here as well is that some of you have reached a point in your career where now you have enough time, or you reach a point in your life where you're like, I want to settle down, I want to get married, I want to have kids, or I'm saying that because of Cancer energy, or you're already thinking like, I want to start putting some focus on my love life, and that transition from like your career to your love life is a bit challenging. So maybe you already reached a point in your career where you have enough wiggle room to create like that stable foundation for romance. But now it's like, okay, but like, where do I start? How do I go about that? And here, the cards are telling you, just go for it. Just do it. Just put yourself out there. Kind of say, I'm ready for love. I'm ready for romance. I'm ready to focus on it. I'm ready for all of this. And then eventually you're going to start seeing how that energy is changing around you. And yeah, if anything, I think the best way I can visualize what's happening here is like, if you're at work and you're talking to people and they're talking about their love life and their romance, maybe before you were like, oh, I don't have time for it. Now when those conversations come up, you can start bringing it up and be like, yeah, I was thinking of like maybe starting venturing into my love life and figuring out what goes what goes there, what's going to happen there, or like try to initiate it and like welcome romance into my life. And by that, people might be giving you advice, or that energy is going to start changing around you, even if those people don't introduce you to others or stuff like that. Like, you don't have to really put yourself out there and be like, okay, into the dating apps, or putting yourself out there and be like, okay, let me tell my spouse that I have time for them now. Okay, maybe that will be, if you're already in a partnership, maybe being direct and just be like, let me like involve myself in this life again. I'm saying it again. So I guess I'm thinking of someone that's already married and maybe already has a family, and it's like, let me bring in back attention to this area of my life. I do feel that being straightforward can be beneficial, but you know your situation better than I. So who knows? Maybe your spouse will not take too nicely to you. Be like, I have time for you now. Anyway, let's look at the tarot cards. So we have the Emperor with focus, stability. We have the Seven of Acorns reverse, or the Seven of Wands reverse, with determination and stamina. I don't know where to put the cards. We have the Page of Feathers, or the Page of Swords reverse. We have the Shadow, which is equivalent to the Devil. And lastly, we have the Ten of Acorns, which is the reverse, which is the equivalent to the Ten of Wands. I'm so curious about the tea leaf because we have a bunch of those cards, but let's look at the tarot. Now, I'm saying that because when I was talking about opening up and like talking to other people, and kind of by talking to other people about wanting to focus on your love life, you're kind of setting the intentions out there and letting the universe know, like, hey, I want to focus on this, help me out. So that's why I'm telling you, like, you can go ahead and do that, and that will be beneficial. But when I said that, I moved the tarot cards in such a way that I got a clear idea of how many they were. So that told me, like, maybe we should look at the tarot to get a bit more in depth with that message earlier of how you can set your intentions. So with the Emperor, we have Aries energy, and with the Shadow, we have Capricorn energy. And the reason why I'm kind of laughing a little bit is because both of those signs are also cardinal signs. So you have a lot of this cardinal energy, very strong masculine energy in that sense. This whole idea of like, you want to be the leader of your own life, you want to take action on your own terms, or making your own decisions. You don't want to be influenced by others, influenced by society, by conventions. You kind of want to do your own thing. With the Emperor, we have this Aries energy of someone that has authority, someone that is a leader, someone that knows when to take action, someone that is at the moment kind of sitting down, but like observing the situation in front of them. That's what the Emperor has always symbolized to me. And also the Emperor is a very mature energy, stable, concrete, someone that knows what they want, they know how to get there, and they know when to take action, which I think that's the issue with you, Pile 2. You don't know when to take action. Also, now that I think about it, if you pick the Rose Quartz, it makes sense that you guys are in the energy of like, I want to start my love life, I want to focus on it, because Rose Quartz is the stone that people usually connect to love, and it's very easy to make that connection since it's a pink stone, a pink quartz. So yes, it definitely feels like you want to commit fully to your love life. If you're in a relationship or not, it doesn't matter. You want to commit to it, pay attention to it, bring more energy to it, take action in that area. And I do feel that maybe your career could have gotten in the way before, or it may still be getting in the way of you finding romance, love, and committing to a partnership in the way that you want to commit. But the Emperor is kind of saying that as long as you are stable, as long as you know what you want, and you have a clear mind, or at least clear enough for you to take action or make decisions, as long as you are assertive, that can be beneficial as well. But having all of those things show that when you take action, regardless of your fears, you will succeed. That is the main thing I can say this. And if anything, the Emperor upright shows that you are already in that energy, meaning that you can take action, and your worries and concerns will not get in the way of you succeeding in life or succeeding in your love life. Now, let's talk about the Seven of Acorns. So the Seven of Wands reverse tells me that you are afraid of taking action. You are afraid of moving forward. The Seven of Acorns usually talks about someone that is not giving up, someone that is fighting their fears, someone that is overcoming obstacles. And with it being reversed, it shows me that what we talked about earlier about working in your insecurities, right? Push through any insecurity, which is the advice here, right? Now, I don't know which chakra that is. Looking at the color, it could be the crown chakra, so maybe using your intuition will give you the clarity necessary to move forward in life. And if not, it could be the third eye, which is something very similar. Being able to see things clearly, being able to see things for what they are, and also connecting to your intuition. But when I was looking at all of the blue that we have here, I was thinking of the throat chakra, being honest with yourself, being able to speak up, speak your truth, and all of those things in such a way that it will open the doors for you to move forward in your love life. So communication is going to be important. If you are afraid that your love life is not going to work out the way that you imagine, don't be afraid. Just take action. With experience, you will know what works and what doesn't work. If you communicate effectively, you will be able to communicate with your partner what it is that works for whatever it is that works for you and whatever it is that doesn't work for you. And by communicating effectively, you will be able to listen to their side of things, how they view things. There will be times that just by nature, you may not see things eye to eye. By communicating, you will be able to understand each other, and then there you go, problem solved. And when it talks about working through your insecurities, it kind of feels like just trust that when you encounter the unknown or when you encounter conflict or an obstacle, you will manage it. You will be able to overcome it. So I feel here that the best advice is that just know that you as a person already have all the knowledge and all the tools necessary to navigate the unknown when it comes to your love life. Just be aware of that. The other card that we have here is a Page of Feathers reversed. So that makes me think that you just have no idea or no clue how your love life is going to work out or how it's going to manifest. So with it being reversed, you just feel like you don't feel too glad or too open about starting your love life, whatever new stage it's in. And that's just because of all the uncertainty going on and just not really knowing what's happening or how it's going to work out. Just not have... I think humans are very unpredictable, and that's one of the reasons why you feel very hesitant, because you go like, I know who I am as a person. I know how my workspace functions. It's very predictable. It makes sense. You could be in a job that being predictable and consistent is rewarded or it's expected. So when you think about a person, you're like, people are so unpredictable, so random, and so all over the place that it's hard for you to imagine how you will manage something, such a unpredictable variable. So the Page of Feathers reverse makes me think that you just can't really even begin to imagine how that's going to work out. My best advice here is to know that you will be put in a position where you will find someone that matches your energy. That doesn't mean that you're going to be the same person or that you have similar interests, or you just will have like the core values will match, meaning you may have similar core values, similar goals in life. By that I mean, like, if you want to get married, they want to get married. If you want to have kids, they want to have kids, and so on and so on. Or you have whatever you find to be a risk. How should I put it? Even if you are like on opposite sides of a certain topic or something, you're able to communicate and talk and meet each other halfway, which is just what a healthy relationship is all about, regardless of its nature. If it's romance, partnership, or friendship, doesn't matter. Meeting each other halfway and communicating effectively is one of the best ways that you can preserve a relationship, strengthen it, or improving it. So again, just be aware of that. Now the shadow card, here we have the Devil. This is Capricorn energy. You want something predictable. You want something stable, something traditional, something, I feel this is, how should I put it? I feel that the energy here is of someone that is very traditional, regardless, whatever that means to you. Let me just put it that way. I don't have like a concrete idea of like, this is what a traditional person is. But what I mean here is like, whatever expectations you have of romance, you want that. Whatever idea of what your love life should look like, it matches your community, it matches your circle. You want that. And I think that one of the reasons why you may be a bit afraid is that maybe it doesn't. Okay, let me put it this way. Let's say that your family or your household has an idea of what love looks like. You want to follow that, but maybe it doesn't match with like the modern world. So let me just put it this way. Let's say that you have heard stories of these people that are like, oh, I want this type of relationship, and this is what is expected when you're dating, or this is what is expected of a partnership. And you hear all of these things in your workspace, and you go like, what the hell? Like, what's going on? I don't want that. It doesn't match with what I want. But I grew up with this idea of love and romance. Is it impossible to find that nowadays? So I do feel that maybe you have a very traditional or way of viewing things that just doesn't match the environment that you're in. But do know that when you start dating, or when you, I think this will match a bit more with someone that is barely starting. When you start dating, you're going to find someone, especially if it's like the right person for you, that will be okay with that traditional way of thinking. Maybe they want those things too. Maybe they're in the same position as you in that case. I mean, like, I want these views and it just doesn't fit with everybody else's. But also with the shadow energy, it feels like this is something that you've always wanted, but you keep to yourself because you feel like it doesn't match the environment that you're in. Now, if we're talking, let me generalize this a bit more. I do feel that maybe you want to bring traditions and stability into your romance, or into your love life, and you just don't really know how to go about it because you feel like it doesn't match what your partner will want or what your family will want. Now I'm saying that if you're already in an established relationship. Now with the 10 of Acorns reverse, it feels like you want to move forward, because I'm getting a couple of things. Some of you are so busy, but you know that you're going to have enough free time to be able to focus your attention into your love life. Others of you have already reached a point where you have enough space and free time for your love life, and you just don't know how to get that started. So the 10 of Acorns reverse makes me think that you are at the end of a cycle. You just don't know how to like wrap it up, or you don't know how to let it go. It doesn't feel bad though. It just feels like with time, you will know how to balance your love and your work life. Just with time. But let's look at your tea leaf, which I'm so excited because we have so many of them. We have the Axe with forces working against you, which in this case, it could be your insecurities, your limiting beliefs, or maybe even your work. We have career. So maybe your work could be one of the things that is kind of like getting in the way of your love life. We have younger men with dealings or relationships with a younger man. We'll see about that later. We have March. Maybe things are going to start looking better in March. We have I, looking better. We have psychic ability, trust your intuition. We have Dagger with fear, worries, tense situations. We have Dog, far away. Okay, hold up. So when I see the axe and the dagger, that makes me think of weapons, right? It makes me think of someone that is ready for battle, ready to take whatever life has to, like, whatever life throws at them. So I started laughing because I was thinking that maybe your mentality about love is like, I have to gear up, I have to prepare. And then I just thought it was kind of funny. Like, I guess love is war, but I don't think you necessarily need to be in. I guess, okay, being mentally prepared is going to benefit you, but like, I don't think you need to see it as like things are gonna go wrong. I think that's your nature, pile too, but I just think it's a little bit funny how it feels a little bit over the top. Anyway, so we have Dog with far away, with a distant friend is thinking of you. And then we have Beryl with you feel something is lacking in your life, perhaps love, money, or goals. So, pile 2. Have you seen the beginning of Stardew Valley? I feel that that's where you're at. I feel that you've been working for... Okay, the difference though is that I do think you're okay with your job. Either you feel that it brings you the stability that you desire, so you're okay with it, or some of you do really like the job that you do, but it hasn't really given you the time and space that you need to nurture your love life. But yeah, I was thinking of the beginning of Stardew, how you have all of these people in like this office, and everyone's like working and everything, and the character that you play as just kind of goes like, you know what, I'm out of here. So I do feel like you're kind of like in that energy right now. I don't think you dislike your career, and I don't think you have to like do a whole shift in career in order to find love. Um, but I do feel that that imagery was kind of funny as well. Anyway, but I think you guys will find love in March, or you will get answers about how to find love in March. Now, I'm here in February telling you the information that I have for you, but I feel that in a month from now, you're going to get more information that fits more in your situation. You using your own intuition, receiving your own messages. Now, I wanted to connect this to Quartz. The dog far away and the younger man feels like it's connected here. So I was thinking of like a younger brother or a younger brother figure, like a cousin or something, or maybe a friend that's younger than you can give you advice on love. And some of you, maybe you're interested in someone that's younger than you. But regardless of the situation, it feels like if you want to find love, your career can help you. Again, I talked about communicating with your colleagues and maybe expressing to them what you desire and what you want can definitely help you get a bit more perspective, and it can definitely help you put into words what it is that you desire, and that is definitely a good way of sending your intentions up to the heavens, and by that I mean your spiritual team and the universe, to kind of be like, this is the type of person I want to be, and this is the type of love life that I want. And if you don't have a partner, be like, this is the type of person I want in my life. And I think by just kind of like communicating that, you're kind of like opening up the energy and the doors for that type of lifestyle to come your way. I do feel that there could be stuff in your career that is going to hold you back a little bit in your love life. Now, I don't know if you're going to get busy or there's going to be a lot of stress and fights in your work that you will have to kind of like disassociate from if you want your love life to do okay. And the reason why I'm saying that is like maybe your work keeps you even busier because people are not doing their job, and that could interfere with plans that you have with your family. So be aware of that. The other thing that I'm getting for others of you is like you could get so stressed from the stuff that you have at work that you won't have the headspace for love and romance. So if anything, I feel that you should just be aware that you, even if you want to start love and you are afraid that maybe things are not going to work out in that side, just be aware that your career could be the biggest obstacle in you finding love. Again, I think that you just need to find a balance on how to manage these two areas of your life. Whatever that balance fits what you want in life. Yes. So it feels like romance is what you feel like is missing in your life. I don't think money is an issue, and I don't, because I feel like many of you just work a lot, and I don't think it's out of need. I think that's just out of habit. So yeah, I feel like what you're missing here is love, especially if you're here watching about like where you're at in your love life. Connecting to your intuition can give you a lot of clarity in what your situation is and how to continue moving forward. I am here kind of just laying out the groundwork and maybe like guiding you in the direction that you could be looking into to further get answers that can help you in your specific situation. But do know that in this reading, take whatever resonates and leave the rest behind. Of course, practice critical thinking and practice using your intuition in order to understand which messages fit you and which ones don't. And also, there could be energies here that I'm not able to put into words that maybe you go like, oh, I know exactly what she's talking about, and then boom, you know what your message is there. My last message before I let you go pile 2 is if you have a pet, go give them some head pats. That might help you get a little bit of clarity or to relax a little bit to be able to think in a calmer way about the situation and about your love life. I don't know, that message was just coming through. I was just sitting here thinking anything else that has to be said, and then I was just looking at the dog and I was like, go pet your pet. Anyway, Pile 2, I hope you liked your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you guys on the next one, whenever that is, however that is. Thank you so much for being here with me. And if you are leaving me here, that's perfectly fine. See you whenever, however that is. And if not, well, see you in the next pile. Bye. Hello, Pile 3, or for those of you that picked the Obsidian Stone, this is your reading about where you are at in your love life. Now, before we get into your reading, I want to mention that I have a song stuck in my head, which is a song that Shunha took out with Sumin. I think it's called Salty, and it was just playing in my head. I don't know what the song's about, but just letting you know in case you want to check it out and you go like, okay, that has a message for me. But let's check out your oracle. So we have To the Sea. Number 7 could be significant. We have Full Moon in Capricorn with Take a Reality Check. Okay. Why? Why are we getting the Sartenazo so early? We have Garden with Floral Delights, Gardening Joy, Blossoming Colors, and Plant Care. We have the Sky with Infinite Universe, Cloud Formation. We have Kitchen, which I would like to say that I'm recording in my kitchen. So I thought it was very funny when that card came up. I was shuffling the cards, right? Making the piles. And then when that card came up, I was like, oh, is this my pile perhaps? Am I finding love in the kitchen? Anyway, whatever. So, with the cards that we have in front of us, it feels To the Sea. That makes me think of being in your intuition, being in deep thought. Another K-pop song came up. ATEEZ has a song called Deep Dive. That could be significant. Just letting you know. But To the Sea makes me think of someone that is on their own, in isolation, connecting to their intuition, someone that is deep in thought. It makes me think of someone that has been on their own for quite a while. I'm thinking of someone like No Man's Land, or Every Man is an Island, or I don't know, something along those lines of like, you are your own space, your own person, your own energy. You know what I'm getting as well? Someone that feels like they are a lone island, so they're not connected to other people. And that could be someone that has a weak root chakra. So maybe you feel very floaty, you're up in the air and don't really feel like you're in the present moment. And that could be that you need to work a bit more in your root chakra. The other thing that I'm getting is the imagery or the visual, I guess, of that one Tangle part when she's like she's on a boat and then they see like the lantern lights or something. I just know there's a song for it. I don't remember the title of the song. So that could also be important for you, Pile 3. But yeah, To the Sea just makes me think that you kind of feel like you're on your own. Your spiritual team is there. You could, okay, for you, Pile 3, you may be connecting to your spiritual side so much that you're not really living life. There's nothing wrong with being spiritual. There's nothing wrong with being connected, but you need to ground yourself if you want anything to happen in your love life, Pile 3. We take a reality check. It just makes me think of someone that is a lot in their head, in their imagination, maybe connecting to spirit and their intuition to the point that they're not really going out and touching grass or not being in their present moment, living their life. It's like they visualize and imagine what life could be like, but then they don't really go out of their way to actually maybe try to figure out how to make that a reality. So I do feel, Pile 3, that that's where you're at. And all I'm gonna say is I'm right there with you. So you're not alone, Pile 3. Anyway, with a full moon in Capricorn. Full moon, we're talking about peak energy. Energy that has accumulated and has like built up to this moment. And Capricorn energy is about, I think of like long-term goals. I think of someone that is very ambitious, goal-orientated, someone that, I was gonna say detail-orientated as well, which that's not really a Capricorn thing, but maybe that's significant to you, Pile 3. What else? Earthy, stable, someone that is a planner in the sense of, again, having those long-term goals takes planning. Also, with Capricorn energy, I'm thinking of a goat, and I don't know if goats are the ones that are able to climb or walk through very difficult terrain. So that makes me think that that could be significant to your love life as well. It's like, you know, the hardest thing for you, pile 3, is to just live life, just to be a normal human being. I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm saying it more as in like, you consume entertainment, or you write stories, or you create, and you are in this very magical energy that creates very good escapism at times, and that could be getting in the way of your reality. So, yeah, maybe with the garden card here, they're telling you that if you want to find love, pile 3, you may want to not necessarily go outside and live your life, but like in this case, what I mean is like one of the methods that I've heard for people that need to work on their root chakra is to go outside and like have their feet touch ground, touch dirt, touch grass, or touch sand, or do something where your body is actually touching and planting themselves, not literally planting, but like, standing firmly on earth energy. So that's why I'm saying dirt or grass. So maybe something like that could be significant. Like maybe go to your backyard and like meditate in a sense where you're like connecting to earth and connecting to your reality and so on. No, I'm saying that because since you may be very connected to your spiritual side, doing, meditating and connecting to the outside world is like a good transition. But if you want to skip that step and you just want to go into your reality, then pay attention to your everyday stuff. Pay attention to what's in front of you, pay attention to the people around you, pay attention to what they're saying, what's going on, instead of being so in your head. And the garden card just makes me think also about like the beautiful life that you visualize in your mind. Why don't you start planting the seeds in your 3D world to make that a reality? I don't know if you know how to make that happen, but it feels like you can start thinking about how to make that a reality. Maybe even gardening or planting flowers could help you connect to earth and connect to your present moment. With the sky card, it makes me think that in your love life, you're in a place where you have visualized greatly how it will look like, or what it is that you want. So your intentions of the type of partner that you want, the type of love life that you want, or how you want to go about your journey is kind of clear to you because you have visualized it, seen it, and you have gone through the whole story. You have seen the whole film in your head. So now it's a matter of bringing that into something tangible, into your reality. So the sky card just makes me think like the sky's the limit, infinite possibilities. Like you're aware of that, and that is a very good skill to have, to know that there's a lot of opportunities, a lot of potentials, a lot of opportunities out there. And I think that will definitely help you continue expanding and dreaming big and searching for more. And life is telling you, okay, now, what is it called? A piece of heaven on earth is what I'm kind of getting. This whole idea of like, okay, bring those big ideas down to earth so it becomes your reality. Now with the kitchen, I'm getting like the whole thing of like, let him cook. So like whatever you're thinking, whatever it is that you want, continue thinking that way. You're gonna make it happen, believe me. So with the kitchen tools and the meal preparation, I think the universe is telling you like, prepare in the sense of like, you already have all the tools and all the ingredients and the vision of what your love life is going to look like. Now it's just a matter of you taking the action to make that a reality. Whatever creation you have in your mind, bringing it into something tangible. You know what I'm getting here? This pile could have a lot of people that are very intuitive, or it could have a lot of people that are aware of their manifestation powers. It's like maybe you don't know like the ins and outs of how to make it work and how it happens, but you are aware that you are the creator of your life. Now, you know what I'm thinking of, like writers, and how you have a lot of them that are able to visualize these ideas, these stories in their head, and they're like, oh, I love this idea, I love this story, but then it's so hard to put it into paper and make it into something tangible, like bringing those ideas onto paper. Now, why is that hard? Is because, like, well, in their head, the movie already played. You know, the story or it's already created. They already saw it. So then writing it down, it's like, okay, now that's work that I actually have to put in. And well, I heard writers don't like to write. And that's what I heard. Anyway, but let's look at the other oracle cards that we have. We have collaboration and triumph. So we have backup, unity, and enhancement. Yeah, success, victory, and achievement. So yeah, it feels like the universe is telling you you will succeed in your love life. Just kind of like, I don't know, take action, go out there, put yourself out there. With a collaboration, it makes me think of like maybe they're telling you go out with friends, go out and work, or hang out with your colleagues, or you know, maybe you will find someone because of your work, because they're both kind of like, or maybe collaboration could also mean in school, like go hang out with people, go put yourself out there. You know, you've been in isolation long enough, try to make those bridges to go places, to go meet people. I guess I'm kind of telling you like the basic stuff for love life is kind of like, okay, go out and do things, go out and meet people, go out and live your life. So yeah, when I mean go out, I don't necessarily mean go out, but more like put yourself out there. So like, let's say you want to put stuff in social media, or you want to interact with communities online, go ahead, do that. You know, put yourself out there. El comal le dijo la olla, right? Remember how I said that this pile felt like mine? Yeah, the stuff that I'm telling you, I should follow my own advice. Anyway, with a collaboration, it definitely feels like maybe you can meet your love partner at work, or maybe when you're meeting people or hanging out with friends. Maybe people gathering together and you get invited, or people need your help, so you're helping them, and that's how you meet someone, or that's how you you know, I guess that's kind of obvious. If you want your love life to work, let's say you already have a partner, you know, hang out with them, be with them, be in the present moment, you know, kind of get out of your head and like listen to them, or like figure out what they're into, what they're doing, what's going on, you know, kind of create a bit more of like a tangible connection with them. So that kind of makes me think of collaboration as well. But if you do that, you will succeed. You will overcome any obstacle, any challenge that life puts out there for you, and you will be on the top of the mountain. You will reach your goal. You will accomplish what you want. So it feels like you will succeed in your love life. You just kind of have to put yourself out there. It could be meeting people, working with people. Again, To the Sea just made me feel like you were a lone island. It makes me think like you were on your own, just doing your thing, deep in thought, in your emotions, in your intuition, to the point that it's like, okay, the universe is telling you, you've been there long enough. Like, I will not be surprised if the Hermit comes up reversed. That is a sign that life is telling you, go out there. Or if we get the Three of Pentacles, or the Three of Crystals in this deck, that will also be like the universe telling you, go work with people, go meet people, hang out with people. So let's look at the tarot. I'm kind of curious now. So we have Strength reverse. That's a cute elephant, by the way. We have the Three of Acorns, which is the Three of Wands. And then we have the Five of Feathers reverse, which is the Five of Swords reverse. Yes, the Five of Swords or the Five of Feathers reverse. Life is telling you to not give up, to go after your dreams, to work hard, to... Okay, it makes me think of like, don't be stubborn. Just go out there and have fun. You don't have to like win at everything. You just have to experience life. You know, if you put yourself out there and the experience was not that favorable, was not that happy, the universe doesn't want you to go back into your like your spiritual side. Okay, how do I reward this? Like, they're telling you like, no, don't go back. Continue experiencing life. Continue. You know what I'm getting? When my younger sister goes like, oh, I'm failing successfully. The whole idea of like, things don't work out as you expected, but like, it's still good. Like, everything's still fine. That's what I mean here. It's like, life is telling you to fail successfully, pile 3. They're telling you, put yourself out there, do things, and even if it's not what you expected, and it's not what you imagined or what you thought of, don't see that as something bad. Don't see it as something wrong. Just continue moving forward. Just continue living life. Making mistakes is part of life. meeting the unexpected is also part of life, and succeeding is also part of life. And I think that the cards here are telling you just go for it, just do those things that you want to do. The Three of Acorns, we have foresight and exploration. The Three of Acorns is the equivalent to the Three of Wands, and the Three of Wands is supposed to talk about someone that is visualizing their future, and they're thinking, how can I expand my lands? How can I continue moving forward? To me, the Three of Wands talks about backup. It talks about people that are there to support you, help you, and be there for you. And to me, the Three of Wands also talks about contracts. So again, work could be significant here as well. Like you entering, like if you're a freelancer, it's like a new project can open the doors for you to meet people in a new community, or like maybe getting a new job is like, okay, you're going to meet people and that's going to help you evolve in your love life. And if not, the Three of Acorns is just telling you expand your world. So, you know what I'm getting? Pile 3, go touch some grass. Go out there. Go put yourself out there. It's like if there's a community you want to be part of, take the initiative in introducing yourself into that community. Instead of waiting for that community to come to you, why don't you put yourself out there and become part of that community? And I feel that the Three of Acorns is kind of encouraging you to do that. It's like expand the world that you have in your mind and bring that into a reality by just putting yourself out there. And it's kind of like the protagonist you have in your head. Now it's time for you to be that protagonist. Now it's time for you to live your life. Now it's time for you to put the skills and the information you got from observing others into your own situation and just live your life, basically. So the Strength card reverse. The Strength card is Leo energy, and Leo energy is someone that is under the spotlight. It is someone that loves the attention, someone that is very generous, loyal, loving, and caring. But Leo energy is very lighthearted because it's fire, and Leos can be, I was gonna say very social, but that one just depends on the Leo. Not necessarily the energy itself is like that, but definitely someone that's very confident, borderline cocky, and self-centered, but at the same time is someone that is not afraid of having other people's attentions, is not afraid of being under the spotlight. So I do feel that the universe is telling you, put yourself out there. If you want your love life to work, put yourself out there. The Strength card reverse could also mean that they're telling you, like, right now is not a time to be passive. Now it's a time to take action. So in this case, with it being reversed, the universe is telling you, take the initiative. Don't be passive about your love life. And in this case, they're not telling, like, if you really want, you meet someone and you're like, hey, let's date. Go ahead. I'm not going to stop you. But if you are not ready to take a step like that, or maybe you go like, I don't really have anyone in mind, so I want love, but I don't have anyone in mind that I want to pursue, do not worry, pile 3. I got you. The advice here is go meet people. Interact with people. And eventually you're going to find someone that you want to share your love life with. So let's look at your tea leaf to see any additional messages. We have Hand with in need of help, assistance, and guidance. No, for real, that's why we're all here. We have November, so maybe November could be important. And we have Ear with good news. Pile 3, you know what I'm saying here? We have a hand and we have an ear. Those are both body parts. You know what that makes me think? That you have the power to improve your love life. And right now, you're in the journey where they're telling you that you have to physically work into manifesting your goals into the 3D world. It's like, listen to people. Like, yeah, listen to your spiritual team, but also listen to people. Go out there and touch grass. I don't know. That one keeps coming up. Now, I find it very funny because I'm like, no. If this is my pile, I don't want to do that. So, anyway, some of you could be sharing the same sentiment, honestly. But in need of help, assistance, and guidance, it just makes me think, especially since it's close to the collaboration card, like, if you want your love life to improve, or if you want your love life to change, finding a community will benefit you a lot. or hanging out with your friends will benefit you a lot. And why is that? Like, you don't have to be on your own to continue expanding your social circles. You don't have to be on your own when you're meeting all these new people or interacting in this new world. So let's say you want to be part of a community and they're all going to have like a class, or they're all going to be hanging out. The universe is telling you, go for it. You don't have to go on your own though. Like, you can be with someone, like take a family member and go to that dance class you've always wanted to. Or, you know, if you want to become part of an online community, then maybe go with I hang out with a friend and be like, you know, I want to be part of this, let's interact with these people, or something like that. Like, you don't have to necessarily be on your own. You don't have to just like put yourself out there bare and be like, here I am. You could if you want. Like, I'm just saying, if you don't have that type of courage, it's okay. Take things one step at a time and kind of like use the resources you have at your disposal to like slowly venture in. Like, let's say that it's a like on an online community. Maybe you can start by saying, oh, I like this, I like that. Or like, if you see a post that you like, maybe leave a nice comment, and slowly you're gonna start having interactions with people. Now, if we're talking about like a physical community, just talk to people. You know, you can start with something as small as like, you know, wave at them and say good morning or something. Or like eye contact is one of the best ways to initiate conversations with people. You have no idea. When I go outside, I guess, okay, look. When I go outside and I make eye contact with anyone, I can't help but smiling at them. I don't really like that sometimes because that opens the door to conversation, and the introvert that I am kind of makes me go, no. But, you know what I'm saying? It's like, if you are physically in a place where you want to talk to people, look at them and smile. A smile invites people to conversation if they so desire. You can ask something if you want, or you can initiate with something as simple as like, the weather's pretty good, right? that feels a bit awkward, but you can start with something like that, and then the conversation will just unfold. Also, when I was saying that it was 2222 on my audio file, when I edit this, maybe it wouldn't be 2222. And also, you're the third pile, so that won't really be the case. But all of those twos just made me think of partnership and infinite possibilities. Because if you add all of those twos, I think it's an 8. So that makes me think of like finding balance, partnership, and then the 8 makes me think of having like infinite opportunities, or infinite paths, or infinite possibilities of like hanging out and getting along. It's like, for you, pile 3, there might not be a specific person you have in mind, and that's perfectly fine. They're telling you though that by talking to other people, you will eventually meet someone that matches what you want in life. Or I think it's going to be very organic, very naturally you will fall in love or something like that. Or if you just want to improve your love life and your love situation, then by being a bit more present, hanging out with that person more, and all of that can definitely improve the relationship. You've been on your head a little bit too much. You've been up in the clouds for a little bit too long. The universe is telling you, come back down to earth and live life again. Also, when I said the 8, I just remember that, you know, 17 has a member called the 8, and his birthday is in November, which is on the 7th of November. Ayo. Anyway, and he has a song called Orbit, and that song could be significant as well, which I find very funny. Maybe you're my K-pop people, and if you're not, I'm sorry. I just sent you a bunch of K-pop songs that you could listen to that could have messages for you. So yeah, pile 3, I hope that those songs do have a message, and if not, enjoy the music. Anyway, pile 3. So the good news just tells me that soon enough, if you're looking for a community, you're gonna find it. If you're trying to figure out how to ground yourself, you're gonna figure it out. Okay, I'm not saying that to like leave you up on your own, but what I mean is like you're going to get advice on how to make that a reality, how to make that happen. Like, I feel like someone might reach out to you and be like, let's hang out, or someone's gonna reach out to you and be like, I have this job opportunity for you. Like, something is coming your way, which honestly, let me take out some tarot if we can get any additional advice of what this guidance or this, like, I feel like someone is reaching out to you, pile 3, so I want to know if we can get information about what that is. We love to see it. We have a King of Cups and Temperance. So the energy that is reaching out to you is an energy that is very balanced, very caring. We have Cancer and Sagittarius energy, so that could be significant, especially since we have November. And I think mid-November, like the second half of November, is Sagittarius energy, so that could be significant. So maybe someone that is born at the end of November, or someone that is a Sagittarius, a Cancer, or maybe even a Capricorn, those people could be significant. Like they can reach out to help you expand your world. And you know what song I just got? Welcome to My World by Espa. A bunch of K-pop songs are coming here. But yeah, give them a listen. Maybe music is something that, a way that spirit communicates with you. So the King of Cups just makes me think that the type of energy or the person that is reaching out is someone that is very caring, very loving, very compassionate. Capricorn. Cancer energy is one that is very nurturing and motherly. So it definitely feels with this King of Cups that the person that is reaching out, regardless of their intentions. And now I'm saying intentions because, like, if it's a boss, it's going to, like, someone that you will work with in the future, that if it's this career related, then the person that's reaching out is someone that really wants to take care of you, and they're gonna be kind of like a godfather or a godmother to you. Like they're going to be the ones guiding you and leading you towards this new era of your life. I'm not saying necessarily that they're going to be like hand-holding you towards the whole journey, as much as like if you ever need help or you need advice or you need some sort of comfort, these people have the best advice for you, or at least the best words to kind of like calm you down and bring you back to your center. Definitely someone that you can rely on and reach out for. And this King of Cups, if it's a romantic partner, then it's a very similar energy of someone that's very caring, very loving, very romantic, and also someone that has their shit together, because it's a King of Cups. When we're talking about like the hierarchy of the court cards, the king is supposed to be someone that is like has mastered this type of energy, in this case cups energy. So they know how to work with their emotions, they know how to work with their heart, and they are able to detach from their situation if it gets in the way of their stability and their balance. So this King of Cups is going to be someone that's very mature, someone that knows themselves very well, and someone that is very compassionate and caring. So when it comes to love, of course they're going to really love you, care for you, and be there for you. And again, if this comes as like someone that is helping you reach a community or someone that is giving you a job offer, also very similar energy of like wanting to be there for you, care for you, and really look out for you. So let's look at the other card with the Temperance. Whoever's reaching out to you, it's someone that is going to bring a lot of balance into your life. So if they're giving, either they introduce you to an opportunity or introduce you to a circle of people that can bring that stability to you. So the Temperance card is talking about a guardian angel even. So this could be like an earth angel that wants to help you out. And if not, it could be like your spiritual team is one of the people energies. One of the energies that is really going out of their way to help you out in this. And of course, higher selves and spiritual teams are always there for you. But what I mean with Temperance is like it feels like it's an opportunity your spiritual team has carefully crafted and customized to your needs and desires. And maybe it's gonna come in November, or I have a feeling that for some of you, you got signs of what this is in November. And right now you're going to start seeing like the results of it. So like if you, let's say you put a job application in November, soon enough, you're going to get an answer. Anyway, pile 3. I hope you like your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. I thought this reading was very chill, very relaxed, very lighthearted. And as I mentioned earlier, I feel this was my pile, so I should listen to my advice. When I edit it, I'll listen to it. But right now it was just channeling, so I don't really know what I said. Anyway, I hope that you take whatever resonates and leave the rest behind. If not, I hope that you found this entertaining. And if not, okay, hold up. Rephrasing. I hope that you learn from this, and if not, that you at least found it entertaining. I hope I was able to give you some advice. A lot of this was just kind of, to me, it feels kind of like obvious, right? Like things that is like, well, if you want to meet people, go out there, right? But it's the kind of advice that I'm like, I think it's very straightforward and it makes sense. And of course, pile 3, you know this. So when I say these things, I go like, is this actually helping pile 3? Because knowing something doesn't always mean that you can go through with it. Because it's like, okay, yeah, I get that, but like, how do I make that happen? So I hope I was able to kind of fill in that gap of knowing and then knowing for real, if that makes sense. It's kind of like knowing something to be true and then having the epiphany of how that knowledge came to be. I guess processing it is the best way I can describe that. So yeah, pile 3. I'll see you in the next one, whenever that is, however that is. Thank you so much for all the love and support you have shown me and the channel. I hope you like this reading, as I said earlier, and I'll see you in the next one. Love and healing from my part to you, and